Hi, my name is Elizabeth Garber, and I am working behind the scenes with the Digital Identity Advancement Foundation. And today I would love to introduce you to Stefan Charsley, which I'm trying to say it, and I almost sound like I'm trying to be Kiwi when I say your name. So why don't I just let you introduce yourself, Stefan? And I would love to hear a little bit about you, your background, and where you come from in this digital identity world.
Hey, so I'm Stefan Charsley. My background is software engineering, and in terms of the identity world, I'm still fairly recent, only in the last few years. So my journey started when at my mahi we started offering digital IDs to students. At the beginning, it was just a web page showing their name and photo. And since then, it's evolved into an actual verifiable digital credential that students can use to prove their age, to sign up to services, and a whole lot of other things. In my role at my mahi, I developed that digital ID, and we rolled it out to schools and implemented things like during COVID times, there was the COVID pass. You could add your COVID pass to the ID so that when you went to restaurants, which was required in New Zealand at the time, you had to show your ID plus your COVID pass. So that's essentially my background.
That's really cool offering for people of New Zealand, students of New Zealand. So I'm sure people appreciate the work that you're doing. You were a 2025 Kim Cameron Award winner, um, which we were really excited to have you. We were really excited to learn about what you were doing in Mai Mahi. You were our first winner, I think, from New Zealand. Um, can you tell us a little bit about how you found out about the Kim Cameron Award and why you decided to apply?
So I really just stumbled across the Kim Cameron Award on LinkedIn. At the time, I was thinking, I probably won't be able to, I won't win it, I won't get it. So, but I'll try
And now
anyway.
you
Just
were.
I'll try anyway. Just put my hat in the ring and see what happens. And yeah, like I managed to get it. And it was kind of crazy. I was like, oh, now I'm going to be able to, travel to one of these events that I previously didn't have the funds to do, and be able to attend and participate and see how the world of identity works with all the different identity professionals gathered in one place.
And you chose to go to IIW. Do you want to tell us about your experience there?
Yes, so I chose to go to IIW 40 to be precise. It was quite an experience. Like the way IIW is structured is this whole unconference where it's very on the day. You kind of the whole conference decides what happens that day, and so in the morning there's this big rush to kind of put your topic on the wall to try and get a session. So it's kind of exciting to see everyone kind of rushing to try and talk about something they want to talk about, hold a session,
Real
or
adrenaline rush, yeah.
yeah, very literal rush. So yeah, it was quite exciting. And one of the things that kind of um, say in the conference is that you can kind of be like a butterfly, just going around to different sessions. You don't have to stay for an entire session. Just find something that you're interested in, learn something, discuss, debate, and when you think you've achieved that, go to another session and just keep learning, keep discussing, and keep being involved in the different things they're discussing. So the aspects that I was really interested in were a lot of the how digital identity is addressing the equity concerns with different portions of the population, having different socioeconomic levels, how to make sure that when we roll out digital identity to everybody, to not exclude any particular portions of the population. And I found that there's a lot of different discussions that weren't necessarily strictly about that topic, but that were related and how to solve a lot of these problems with tech, which weren't specifically related to that issue, but did involve those portions of the population, like what happens if you only have one device? How do you recover from losing your IDs and all that kind of stuff? Um, and on the second day, I actually did participate in that rush to try and hold a session, discussing particularly, the underserved populations. And in that session, we discussed what we're doing in New Zealand, how we're trying to address for young people the issue of digital IDs by using information held by the schools. Other participants in that discussion pointed out that in other countries it could be achieved in different ways. You could have village elders attest someone's identity. You could have trusted people coming from different sources. So there wasn't necessarily any one solution, but there were a range of solutions that applied depending on what culture you're coming from.
It is so interesting when you learn about the way that different cultures treat digital identity and the types of, and when you think back in history about how people used to establish their identities, it's interesting to take off the kind of the lens you have of your own cultural experience and then hear about how it all works, maybe in indigenous communities in Africa um, or in your experience there in New Zealand. Um, all right, so it sounds like you called a session. I know you also participated in demo hour. How did that go? Did you bring the My Mahi solution to demo hour?
Yeah, yeah. So I got to kind of show off what we were doing. And it was quite interesting that the feedback, there was quite a bit of buzz in terms of, the students kind of were leading it. And that's what we've found that, the students really lead the adoption. You can kind of tell schools and teachers and train them and everything, but it's really the students that pick it up the fastest. And that's where a lot of the interest was, where we were providing these tools to students and students would just pick them up and using it rather than needing, whole day training sessions to figure out how do I use the digital ID. And some of the feedback from participants that watched the demo was, how can you try to essentially roll this out to larger audiences? How can you make sure that it works on a larger range of devices and things like that, with limitations on the technology that some students may have. Devices, smartphones that aren't as quite as capable. So there was quite an interesting discussion around that.
Awesome, good. I'm glad you found it valuable and you brought it back.
Yes, yeah.
You did. Okay, good. So I would love to hear more about what else you brought back with you after your experience at IIW. Did you meet people that you then collaborated with or are still collaborating with? Did you go on to do anything as a result, directly or indirectly, of your trip to IIW and your Kim Cameron Award?
So one of the great opportunities as part of going to IRW, and this seems to happen around the event as well, is participation in the OpenID Digital Credentials Protocols Working Group. I got to meet the people that are part of that working group and see how they work in person, and have been able to get more involved in that working group and try and drive a perspective of New Zealand and students, and how can we, solve some of the problems that we face here through these protocols. I would say what I brought back was being more involved in that working group, actually taking a step forward and saying, hey, these are, the perspectives from New Zealand, from working with students. Can we, have these protocols meet our needs? And just working with them to kind of iron out those kind of issues and ensure that what limitations we have here are being accounted for in these protocols. And since then, the OpenID for verifiable credential issuance protocol was finalized. The OpenID for verifiable presentation protocol was finalized. So that's been some big achievements. And the high assurance interoperability profile is soon to be finalized as well. So
Believe the
it's been
hype.
a massive amount of work.
Believe the hype. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you got much more. I know that the DCP working group always treats IIW like the massive opportunity that it is to connect in person, to really to call. They do call sessions throughout IIW and also have events on the edges, on the fringes. So if folks are interested in that working group in particular, this is the right conference for them. Um, Now, I know you've also had some really cool things happen for you, both in terms of projects and things you've gone on to do since your award. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the things that's a bit more recent is for me, I've been elected onto the Digital Identity New Zealand board as one of the SME and startup category positions. That's been quite an achievement. I can kind of essentially campaigned on focusing around the equity and inclusion aspect, especially for young people, which is a lot of what we do at Mai Mahi. And I think that kind of resonated with a lot of people where they
Mm.
looked at, where things were going, and kind of saw that maybe there are some gaps in some places where my input would be appreciated. So I'm looking forward to, making some inputs on that and improving the situation here, and hopefully what we do here gets replicated abroad.
I hope so. I think that your solutions are really, really exciting. So I hope to see more projects like these taking place in countries all around the world. What would you say to someone who's thinking about applying for the Kim Cameron Award, which we are we're recording this in the days leading up to me pressing the button and opening that award up for new submissions for next year. What would you say to folks who are thinking about applying?
Apply because you never know what will happen.
Yeah.
I thought that what we were doing was kind of minor, would never get picked, and it'd just be some time that I just spent wasted. Oh well. But the judges saw what I had. They saw the contributions, they saw the opportunity, and they gave me the opportunity to go attend IIW. So I think if you're thinking whether or not to apply, apply. You never know. They're always looking for different different people, different aspects, looking for new entrants, people already in the industry, trying to kind of promote ID in general. So even if you think your work is not really identity related, it very much could be.
It very much could be. And we really are trying to make sure that we're helping people to identify their work as related to identity, bring new voices to the table, whether that's in developing new products or developing standards. That was what Kim Cameron himself was all about. And yeah, so absolutely apply to the Kim Cameron Award.
It's been a great opportunity, to win the Kim Cameron Award and just to see how the rest of the world kind of operates. Especially being in, I guess, what you could consider to be quite a remote place as New Zealand, where we're sometimes isolated from how the rest of the world does things. It might just be a few plane rides away, but it's half the world away in the United
A
States.
few
So
plane rides. You literally took quite a few planes to get to your IW experience, and you.
yeah. So it's definitely been a worthwhile opportunity, and I learned a lot, and it's been a great experience.
Thank you. And we've all benefited from having you in the community. So thank you so much for applying. Thank you so much for taking all those planes, and for continuing to participate in things like the DCP working group. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.